Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast. Time to hashtag everything. We talk about all the fun, crazy stories on social media. From Instagram to Facebook, Twitter to Tumblr, or probably even Friendster. Join us each week as we explore the quirky side of social media. It's the Golden State Media Concepts social media podcast.
It's simple, such a sad song. The one that we rely on to get us.
Hello and welcome to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast, brought to you by the GSMC Podcast Network. I am your host, Sarah, and welcome not only to the podcast, but welcome to July. It's July 1st already. We are halfway through the year, coming up on the 4th of July. So if you've got a long weekend coming up, hope you enjoy that and stay safe all at the same time. I'm sure there will be lots of fun social media posts for us to report on after the holiday and the holiday weekend. In terms of social media posts for this episode, we've got lots of things trending right now. Of course, one of the things that is trending when I, look on Twitter mostly Twitter for this case, although I'm sure it's elsewhere, is the NBA draft. I am not going to try to explain the NBA draft. I just know that it's trending. I see it all over, and I know that it's on ESPN in my house all the time because my husband watches a lot of ESPN. I know there's been some stuff, I say as though I know there have been some big trades. There are still some trades or some deals, I guess I should maybe say, some deals that people are still expecting but that haven't been announced. There were deals yesterday that were announced as supposedly nothing's supposed to happen before 6 o'clock Eastern time. Yesterday, in this case, was the date for that, but at I'm on the West Coast, so it would have been 3 o'clock our time. So at 2:40, they were starting to announce that deals had been made and people were moving, and I do not get it. And so I am not going to attempt to comment on any of the things that have been happening in terms of the NBA draft. I just know that it is trending, and when I go to look at trending, what's trending on social media, that is one of the top things I find. Another sports-related trend, item that's trending, unfortunately, is on the sadder side, and that is that Los Angeles Angels pitcher Tyler Skaggs died today. He was 27, and he was found unconscious. Well, there was a report of an unconscious man in a hotel room in Southlake, Texas. The police responded and pronounced him, it was Tyler Skaggs, they pronounced him dead at the scene. No foul play is suspected, but of course, there has to be an investigation. So, of course, because there is an ongoing investigation, no cause of death has been released. But a Southlake police spokesperson said it is not suspected that Skaggs took his own life, according to the Los Angeles Times. He, as I said, was 27. He was the pitcher for the Los Angeles Angels. I know he recently got married, and the Angels were set to play the Rangers. That game has been postponed. Of course, I can't even imagine what his family is going through, what his teammates are going through, etc. So that is very sad news that is trending today. Lots of tweets and posts about remembering him and, just celebrating his life, celebrating the person that he was. And, of course, there's a lot of speculation going on. So don't know what happened, know that it was certainly very, very unexpected, and the investigation is ongoing. So we, thoughts and prayers out to his family and his teammates, and, rest in peace to Tyler Skaggs. Moving on to something that's a little more cheerful. That is, what is more cheerful than Cookie Monster? Still baseball related, but we're going to move on to Cookie Monster because, frankly, if you need a pick-me-up, Cookie Monster is not a bad way to go. And Cookie Monster has done a rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game. And it's quite fabulous. Seriously, though, anything from Cookie Monster makes me happy. I grew up with Sesame Street. I love Sesame Street. I still will watch it when I see it on TV. If I'm just flipping through channels and Sesame Street is on, I will at least pause, if not watch the whole episode. I can't help it. So it turns out that Cookie Monster apparently also has a thing for peanuts and Cracker Jack, not just cookies. He performed his own rendition of Take Me Out to the Ball Game during the 7th inning stretch of the Chicago Cubs game on Thursday afternoon. I wonder how that works, how you ask Cookie Monster to come and sing at your game. Obviously, Cookie Monster must have representation of some sort, but he said, "Hello, Cubs fans." After being introduced, today C is for Cubbies, and then he launched into his own personal spin on the song, which included him swapping the line, "I don't care if I ever get back," to "me not care if me ever get back." Of course, because he always refers to himself in the third person. Cookie Monster does not use I. Cookie Monster uses me. And, the Cookie Monster's image has changed a little bit over the years because, he sings C is for cookie. That's good enough for me. Cookie starts with C. And as things have changed, times have changed, parents are trying to encourage their children to eat healthier. Sesame Street is trying to encourage children to eat healthier. That has changed to cookies are a sometimes food. Poor Cookie Monster. Cookies are not a sometimes food for Cookie Monsters. Cookies are an all-the-time food, and I don't want to eat anything besides cookies food for Cookie Monster. But, good for him for trying to change a little with the times and encourage healthier eating. And by the way, yes, I do know that he is a Muppet. Yes, I know that he is not real, but he's real enough to me. Thank you very much. Let's get some cookies, Cookie Monster said at the end while the crowd cheered. It's a tradition for celebrities to sing Take Me Out to the Ball Game at Cubs games, and Cookie Monster apparently was pretty pumped to join the list. He even sent out a tweet about it. There's a selfie of Cookie Monster, a little video that he posted. "Me at Wrigley Field to sing 7th inning stretch today. Me no can wait" is the caption on the post of the tweet that he did, which... I can't tell you how happy this makes me. It just makes me smile. Just seeing the picture of Cookie Monster at Wrigley Field makes me smile. And that is good because I had one of those days where I could really use a smile from Cookie Monster. In fact, somebody posted on my Facebook wall a Cookie Monster post today, and it was I can't think of what it was. Me no need no vegetation, something about carbs. Now I can't remember what it was. It'll take me too long to look it up, but it did make me smile. So he was apparently so keyed up that he was hoping that the Cubs would let him take the field. He does have a jersey with Cookie Monster on it. "Put me in, coach" is that tweet of him holding up the jersey, and of course he added at the Cubs. In the end, he didn't get to play in the game, but he got to sing "Take Me Out to the Ball Game," and he did a fabulous job, of course, because Cookie Monster would never do anything else. So the Cubs were playing the Atlanta Braves today. They were leading the visiting Atlanta Browns 9-7 at the time that Cookie Monster sang, which is how the game ended. So the Cubs did win 9-7 against the Atlanta Braves. Maybe that was a little Cookie Monster luck, maybe not, but I'm going to go with it was Cookie Monster. Cookie Monster luck. That is what I'm going to go with because it's my podcast and I can just say those things. Cookie Monster makes me happy. Social media sometimes makes me happy when it brings me things like Cookie Monster. Social media sometimes makes me sad because social media, brings all kinds of news. At any rate, we are going to take our first break of the podcast. When we come back, we'll be talking about some more trending stories, some trending hashtags. Stay tuned. You're listening to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast, and I will be right back.
Always on the go, but the day just won't be one without your Hollywood fix. Let Golden State Media Concepts Entertainment Podcast take care of that. An all-inclusive look of pop culture.
Welcome back to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast. Before the break, I was talking about sports, little basketball, little baseball, little Cookie Monster at a baseball game. Can't go wrong with Cookie Monster singing Take Me Out to the Ball Game. Moving on to some other happier stories. One that I have seen a couple of times on my Facebook today, no, I think I saw it today. It doesn't really matter. Is an incredibly sweet photo shoot of a couple's 60th wedding anniversary. It turns out that, of course, there is a story behind this. If you haven't seen the pictures, they are really very sweet. And this is, it was a surprise from their granddaughter, who is a wedding photographer. She is 26. Her name is Abigail Liddick, and she knew she wanted to do something special for her grandparents, George and Ginger Brown, who were traveling from South Carolina to celebrate their anniversary with family in New Jersey. As I said, she is a professional wedding photographer, and she told her grandparents that she wanted to dress them up and take them out to celebrate their special day. But she did have a surprise for them. It wasn't just dressing up and celebrating. In fact, she planned a wedding-style shoot complete with flowers, makeup, and a bridal gown for Grandma. Again, if you have not seen these pictures, they are so sweet. I keep seeing it with hashtags like relationship goals, that type of thing. And yeah, my husband and I got married late. I do not think we're going to make 60 years unless we are, well, he was 40 when we got married, so he could make it to 100. We could make it to 60 years. Hopefully we're still in good enough shape to do something like this, but it's definitely relationship goals. So when the granddaughter revealed her surprise to her grandparents, they were, quote-unquote, really, really excited about it. But the granddaughter said they were also a little nervous. She said, my grandmother was really nervous at first, just having a professional photo shoot in the first place, which they've never had. Although I would imagine that it would be easier if it was your granddaughter doing the professional photo shoot if you've never had one, right? It was just fun to be able to surprise them and spend time with them, she said. My grandma had never even had professional hair and makeup done before, so that was another totally new, fun experience for her as well. Liddick worked with her friends in the wedding industry to make the shoot happen. Florist Angela DeAndrea donated the flowers, while local makeup artist Christine Swope donated hair and makeup services. I knew that Christine would make my grandma just feel really, really pretty and really comfortable and let her relax before the shoot, Liddick said. And I am looking at pictures. There is a picture of their wedding. He is wearing a white tux, which my dad also wore at his wedding. Very popular, the white tux with the black bow tie for a certain time. I mean, I don't think it would look quite the same now, although some people still do wear the white tuxes. Liddick's friends at the Bridal Suite Boutique in Hamilton, New Jersey, donated the stunning wedding dress for the photo shoot, which was in Allentown, New Jersey. They were also excited about it, Liddick said. They picked out a dress that was super similar to my grandma's dress in her original wedding photos, with just a little bit of a modern twist. It's got a lot of lace on it. It's a very sweet dress in the pictures. And her grandmother loved the dress. and seeing the finished look with the hair and the makeup helped to calm her nerves. Lydic said she was so excited. We zipped up the dress and she knew it fit, and that made her feel comfortable, and she looked in the mirror and she was like, oh, okay. You could totally tell she got 10 times less nervous by just seeing everything put together and seeing how beautiful she is. Her grandfather, who is 83, wore a gray waistcoat and tie, and he looks very handsome, very dapper. The two just look beautiful, adorable, all of those things. It turns out the couple, again, their names are George and Ginger Brown, met in 1958 and married the following year. Now they have 4 grandchildren, 18 grandchildren, and 19 great-grandchildren. Lydic says her entire family has always been inspired by their long-lasting love. Anybody in our family has learned that marriages can get through anything if you are working through it, talking through it, she said. Marriages go through a lot of stuff, and it's hard at times, but if you both give 100% as opposed to each giving 50%, then you can get through anything. And I think that my grandparents are definitely a testimony to that. So then in addition to wedding photos, there's also a few photos of them in their younger years, and which I love. I love old photos. Actually, I love photos of any kind. So she says her grandparents were totally shocked by how much attention the photos have gotten from people around the world. She said they were blown away. I think they were just really, really excited to bring kind of some lightness and positiveness to the media right now, and to show that there are real marriages and you can work hard at them and get through anything. So the 60 years is impressive. Congratulations to George and Ginger Brown. And what a beautiful gift their granddaughter gave to them. They will cherish those photos, I am sure, because they're really stunning. The photos, if you have not seen them, you should definitely look and check those out because they are amazing. We talked about the Get Up Challenge. I can't remember if it was on the last episode or the episode before that, but we did talk about the Get Up Challenge and the dancer who was dancing in his kitchen, looked like a kitchen, wearing, the shiny red shorts and the cowboy boots. I tried to find out who he was, didn't have much luck, then kind of forgot about it until my husband said, oh my gosh, there he is again. And he did another video, a longer video. This one's over 2 minutes long. He this time is it looks like he's in the parking lot of a storage place, storage units. He's still wearing the same outfit because, well, you gotta have continuity. Still holding the exact same blue cup. Maybe it's not the exact same blue cup, but it's definitely from the same set. And he does the whole song instead of just part of the song. So this time I actually was able to find out who it is, or at least his YouTube channel. The YouTube channel is My Name is Ding. And his description is, hey guys, I'm just an entertainer. Just loves to do insane stuff, I guess. Follow me on the journey. It should be fun. Again, that is My Name is Ding. He currently has 5,555 subscribers, which is an amazing number. I'm very glad that I looked this up at that point. He, according to his YouTube page, is on, looks like Twitter, Instagram, and even maybe has a website. I think so. MyNameIsDing.com. I have not looked into any of those really, so I just know that he has done another video. It is longer. The comments are actually kind of fun to read. Usually you don't want to read comments on something, on anything on the internet because they're very, very rude. I have not watched any of his other videos. He does have a bunch of videos. I've not watched them, but he does have the 2 Get Up challenges. One was posted 3 weeks ago. One was posted 2 weeks ago. Clearly, I'm just, now finding them. But he is really good. And the Get Up Challenge makes me laugh every time I see it. That song, every time I hear it, makes me smile. And as I said, there's a lot more booty in his line dancing than you might be used to. He's a very good dancer, and he's clearly very flexible. But there's just a lot more rear end sticking out, more booty than boot scootin' boogie. Maybe does that make me a nerd? Probably, but I'm totally okay with being a nerd, being a dork, whatever it is you would like to call me. That's fine. no good segue here from line dancing and the Get Up Challenge to this next story, which is that it's Canada Day. See, no segue. Somebody out there has a segue that I should have used that they're like, it was so obvious, it was right there in front of you. But it is Canada Day. I have many Canadian friends, and I wish them a happy Canada Day. The Canada Day celebrates the country's movement to self-government on July 1st, 1867. Canada became a self-governing dominion of Great Britain after the passage of the British North America Act. It also became a federation with 4 provinces: New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, Ontario, and Quebec. These provinces were made from the British colonies of New Brunswick, Nova Scotia, and the province of Canada, which was previously Upper Canada and Lower Canada. The act allowed for other provinces and territories to join the country in the future. And in fact, more land was added. Canada now consists of 10 provinces and 3 territories. So today is, I guess it sounds like you could maybe call it sort of similar to Independence Day, although it occurred in a much different way than our Independence Day did. The day is marked by various events, many of which take place outdoors. Common events include parades, concerts, festivals, carnivals, and pancake breakfasts. Of course, pancake breakfasts. You have to have syrup, right? Maple syrup. It's very Canadian. Ceremonies of new citizens also commonly take place. The Canadian flag is flown, and many get their face painted with the flag's colors, which are red and white. The singing of the national anthem, O Canada, is another popular way to celebrate, of course. And one of the reasons that I knew it was Canada Day, I mean, it's a date that's in my brain when I basically know that July 1st is Canada Day, but then something always kickstarts that memory or jogs that memory. Well, today it was one of those Hey Girl posts, with Ryan. Which Ryan is it? Ryan Gosling, where it's like, hey girl, and then it says something, well, it says, hey girl, I think it says something like Happy Canada Day. You've got a little maple syrup on your lip there. Let me get it. Something along those lines. So of course I sent it to my good friend who is Canadian, and she got a kick out of it, which made me happy. So happy Canada Day to all of my Canadian listeners. Hope you had a good celebration, whether that was with pancakes or face painting or just hanging out and not doing much of anything. I hope it was a good day. We're going to take our second break of the podcast, and when we come back, some trending hashtags for today. Stay tuned. You're listening to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast, and I will be right back.
Tired of searching the vast jungle of podcasts? Now listen close and hear this out. There's a podcast network that covers just about everything that you've been searching. The Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network is here. Nothing less than a podcast bliss with endless hours of podcast coverage. From news, sports, music, fashion, cooking, entertainment, fantasy, football, and so much more. So stop lurking around and go straight out to the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. Guaranteed to fill that podcast itch. Whatever it may be. Visit us at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Follow us on Facebook and Twitter, and download us on iTunes, SoundCloud, and Google Play.
Welcome back to the GSMC Social Media News Podcast. As I said before the break, we're talking about some trending hashtags today. Although before I get to that, I just want to say one thing about, I like to check and see what other holidays are on each day, because every day of the calendar year has between, 1 and 10 holidays. I just kind of made that number up. But today is also Zip Code Day. Just says Zip Code Day is being observed today. It has always been observed annually on July 1st. It doesn't tell me anything other than that. what the heck is zip code day? I mean, do you just give a shout out to your zip code? I really don't know. Hey, I've lived in many places over my life with lots and lots of zip codes, but I can pretty much remember my current one and my hometown. So those are the zip codes that I remember. Whatever current zip code I have, and my hometown will always be stuck in there because that's where I spent the first 21 years of my life, which makes it easy to remember that zip code. The zip code I had 3 years ago, I could probably pull it out of my memory, but not right at this moment. Okay, trending hashtags. One trending hashtag that caught my attention today was K-pop going to jail party. And I thought, I have absolutely no idea what that is. Well, it turns out that there were tweets or posts that were saying that Harry Styles is going to jail, and those, of course, started trending because Harry Styles has a huge following. That following was left confused and very concerned after Harry Styles is going to jail started trending today on Twitter. The former One Direction member is not, in fact, in any legal trouble, but the phrase created unrest among, his followers and fans, etc. Concerned fans of the singer, of course, flocked to Twitter to try to find out what was going on. It turns out that he isn't actually going to jail. It was trending. It was trending, but it was propelled forward by K-pop fans trying to get a rise out of Styles' loyal followers, which is interesting. And actually, like I said, what I saw was the hashtag K-pop going to jail parties, and that's what got me on this. I was going through that Harry Styles is going to jail hashtag, and all the Western stans are blaming armies when most K-pop stans are using other group fan cams. We breathed okay. I have no idea what that means. It's okay. I was just reading that. Fans of different Korean pop music acts like BTS and Blackpink were using the hashtag to share different fan cam videos. I guess that would get people's attention, wouldn't it? But this kind of angered some of Styles' fans who had less than favorable things to say about the entire situation, which, you can understand. I see where they're coming from in terms of trying to get people, trying to drive traffic, but maybe not the best idea. Rabid teenage fans, K-pop has rabid teenage fans also. So it was apparently created by a K-pop stan and to drive people to these videos that were being posted. Posted? Wow, that was kind of Canadian in itself, isn't it? So I don't know. It's interesting, and the way Twitter is used is interesting. The way Twitter trends is interesting. The way people use those trends, I just find it all very, very interesting. And then it's like its own language. I mean, some of the stuff I was reading, I was just like, seems like it might sort of be English, and yet it's not English at all. I feel like some of it I needed to grab my teenage nieces and say, I have no idea what this sentence says. Please advise. The other hashtag that is trending today is is not quite so controversial. It wasn't created to, try to drive traffic or freak out Harry Styles fans. It is hashtag my Twitter pirate song. And I don't know how these get started, except that somebody thinks them up and puts them on, and then somehow they trend. But sometimes they make me smile. I think, again, social media sometimes needs to make me smile, frankly. So it's my Twitter pirate song, where you take a song and make it a pirate song, take a regular song. One that, the ones with pictures tend to grab your attention more. This one is a GIF of a cat in a pirate costume, just kind of stalking forward, and it says, I would pace 500 leagues. I'm not going to I feel like there's part of my brain that's like, you should explain what each song is. You know, I would walk 500 miles. That might be helpful, and it might be really annoying. So I'm going to not do it. Call me Matey instead of call me baby. Maybe. See, I just did it anyway. Let's see. There was a couple that made me laugh. We Are the Champions. I love big boats and I cannot lie. That one doesn't surprise me. Where was the... Oh, there was something that made me laugh, and now I cannot find it. But Here Comes the Rum. You know, that one kind of made me smile because it is a reference to a Beatles song, a George Harrison song, which I like that somebody thought of a Beatles song. Unless it's been remade by somebody that I don't know about and it's being referenced there. Whatever. Are You Going to Be My Girl? Yeah, you can see how this is, how this goes. Every Wench Way But Loose. Captain Hooked on a Feeling. There's a lot of Captain Hook kind of themed songs. Hook, What You Made Me Do. You know, some of them are funnier than others, of course, but it is kind of fun to scroll through, and whoever comes up with these things makes for an interesting. Lots of gifts from the movie Hook, lots of gifts from Pirates of the Caribbean, of course, and she's got peg legs. She knows how to use them. Oh man, Plunder the Boardwalk. See, again, that just makes me old, even though that song is much older than I am. Message in a Bottle of Rum. I'm also impressed by people who come up, you know, who are creative like this, because I read them and I think they seem so obvious, but if I try to come up with them on my own, my mind just goes blank. That is not my strong suit, is kind of coming up with these things off the top of my head. Give me time, you know, give me a week and I might come up with one thing that would be good, but probably not. It's just not how my brain works. At any rate, on that note, thank you so much for joining me for this episode of the GSMC Social Media News Podcast. Join me again on, we're scheduled to be on again on Thursday, which is the 4th of July, so we'll find out what's trending on the 4th. Have a great week and a very safe 4th if you have plans, and I will see you next time. Thanks.
You've been listening to the Golden State Media Concepts Social Media Podcast, part of the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network. You can find this show and others like it at www.gsmcpodcast.com. Download our podcast on iTunes, Stitcher, SoundCloud, and Google Play. Just type in GSMC to find all the shows from the Golden State Media Concepts Podcast Network, from movies to music, from sports to entertainment, and even weird news. You can also follow us on Twitter and on Facebook. Thank you, and we hope you have enjoyed today's program.